Yo, guys, check it out. We're finally getting to it. A character showcase. The first one of this update, because so far it's been filled with bugs and bans and crafting cards. Well, the new crafting system that you can get cards from, right? It's not card crafting. I know that's a little confusing. So, this is Proxima. This is Proxima Midnight right here. And, guys, I have to say that she just might be making a splash into the meta. She might be taking a dive off the longboard to the deep end, swimming with the big boys. Yes. Right now, I just have a regular proc obelisk on her, and that's what we're gonna do. Because I know there's a lot of players out there that you don't have a ton of CTPs, right? We just got 5 new characters who could potentially be meta, right? Who you would potentially want to put a CTP on. And I can't imagine, right? I don't know, maybe unless you were one of the lucky ones per the little hour in between maintenance, and you got, I don't know, 150 CTPs at that point. But typically, right, that not per the usual player who has a ton of CTPs to just throw on a bunch of different characters. So what I'm gonna do is I have a regular proc obelisk on her. It's a 200 proc. It's not giving her anything additional. As a matter of fact, all her stats are capped except her crit rate. And the thing with her crit rate is, you know, it's like the Thor. It's like the Thor. Excuse me. It's like the Thor 4 skill, and it's on her 4 skill. And the longer you hold it down, oh, look at her flip her hair like that. The longer you hold it down, the higher the buff gets. So if I just tap it, right, actually she doesn't even get any buff. You got to hold it at least for a second. Boom. That's when she gets 20 all attack and then 10 crit rate. And you got to hold it for 1, 2, okay, right about there, right, is when she gets it 30 crit rate and then the 60 all attack. So getting the additional 40%, that's pretty big. That's pretty big. So back to the CTP talk, CTP obelisk talk. So actually, I'm going to test all these characters with a CTP, right? Proxima, Corvus, and Call. Right now, I actually don't have anything on Corvus. I did go ahead and I built them. I have 12 Odin's Blessings and then 6-star Uru. And Call, I actually did not give him any Odin's Blessings or Uru yet. I will give him Odin's Blessings, you know how I do, but I do have a fully awakened ISO 8 on him. So I actually want to see, and I'm sure you guys want to know if they can do some work with an obelisk and how they actually, you know, compare to a CTP, you know, a rage or an energy. Thing is, I really want these characters to work with a proc, with an energy, because we all know what's happening with, you know, Pierce and Rage, and I want these characters to perform at their peak for World Boss Legend. But if they're used for ABX, chances are a Rage is going to be best. None of these characters can work with a Judgment, but Supergiant certainly can, I believe, right? Yeah, she's got mind damage on all of her skills, and Mr. Ebony here on his obsidian, on his dark obsidian armor. Yeah, he's got mind damage on all of his skills as well. So both of these characters can certainly work with the Judgment. I'm not too concerned about them, but the next 3 videos should be focused on these 3 characters here. I'm not sure who's going to be next, Corvus or Call. That'll probably be left up to you guys who in the comments who I see is requested more Corvus or Call. But today it's Proxima, and I think a good reference point to compare her against will be Rogue and Scarlet Witch. We might do both. We might just do one. I'm not exactly sure. It's probably going to depend on the overall length of the video and what we can actually get to there. So first we're going to take her in with this proc, with the proc obelisk, 200 proc, and then we're going to swap a rage onto her, and then we're going to swap an energy onto her, because she can work with the proc. It can be a little bit tricky. If you're trying to do the most damage rotation, the rotation that offers the most damage, it could just be, it's like high risk, high reward type deal. So let me go ahead and let me show you the 2 different rotations that I'm speaking of. Alright guys, the first rotation, the rotation that's going to be easier for you to actually proc on. So you're going to start with the 4, and right before the hits come, you're going to go 5 and then 3 and then into the 2. Every time I did this rotation, the proc landed right where it should have landed. Like basically all the hits come at the same time. So you hold the 4, you just have to get good with the timing on the 4, the 5, and then 3, and then 2. You see how like all the hits basically come at the same time? Okay, so there is that rotation, and then the tier 3, you're kind of just canceling. Well, you're not canceling everything. You do want to hold into the 4. So at the start of it, you're actually canceling the 2 and the 3 right away. You're going to hold the 4, and then you're going to go into the 5, and then as soon as you drop the spear, that's when you go into 6 on that rotation. You'll see it. I'm gonna maybe I'll do both. Maybe I'll just do like one full rotation on the one that offers less damage. That one right there. Okay, now the other one is going to look like this. So you're actually just going to cancel 2, 3. You're going to go into 5. As soon as she throws his spear, then you're going to hold the 4. And you're going to let go of the 4 when the hits are coming on the 5. So 2, 3, 5. Boom, hold the 4. As soon as she throws a spear, and then you want to let it go as soon as you just have to get used to the timing on 5 when those hits start coming. So if we wait, boom. It's like when the spears start falling down right there. So you go 5, and then you hold the 4, and boom. You see how now all the spears start falling down there. So, and then for the tier 3 rotation, well, for the next rotation after you do that, the 2, 3, 5, 4, you can actually just cancel 2, 3, 5, 4. You actually don't want the spears to come on the 3, and then you're going to hit the 6 at that point. So it's going to look something like that. All right, you'll see it in live action. It'll make better sense there. Let's jump into it. So if I remember correctly, Rogue and Scarlet Witch, when I did this testing with them, they were clocking in at about 410, somewhere in that range. It might have been like a few seconds faster than that, but Proxima might be close with just this proc, which is pretty crazy. Alrighty, let's see if we can get this right here. All right, so we gotta wait for the purple. 2, 3, 5, and then hold the 4, and boom. I mean, there's some pretty nice damage there. Okay, you just you kind of wanna, on the tier 3 rotation, you're almost canceling the 4. You're letting go of the 4 like a little bit early, just because you don't want to miss the opportunity with the tier 3 there. You know what I mean? So you want to get out of it. Ah, we got trapped up. All right, and here we go. So 2, 3, 5, boom, and then there you go. Easy as that. I mean, with just a regular obelisk, like, this is some pretty good damage, guys. Some pretty good damage. You just have to make sure. So that was actually a very late proc, which kind of, I don't know, I guess set you up a little bit better on the next rotation. You have a little bit more leniency, I guess. Okay, I kind of jacked that up. Let's see if we can actually. You can just add another few seconds. If that proc actually worked out well, it would have been like 342. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, here we go, running Proxima Midnight with the other rotation. We're going to see which one actually clocks in faster. For me, the first one was actually clocking in faster before I started recording here. So let's see what's going on. So we want to hold 4, and we don't want to hold it too long, and then you want to go just like that. Bada bing, bada boom. And we could cancel the 2 and the 3 like right away at the beginning of the rotation. Depending on if you're avoiding Null's mechanics and you have the opportunity to actually, like, if all your skills are off cooldown, I would suggest probably doing that. But yeah, not too bad, So go. Actually working out. Of course, we gotta avoid the goo. We might be on pace for like the same time here. That's what it seems like. yeah, you gotta be quick with the canceling the 2 and the 3 there, because this isn't the first time that I've run this. Okay, so it's like 5 seconds slower. It's like 5 seconds slower. It's not much slower. So we're gonna run with the first rotation, like when I swap the for the other CTPs. That's where we're gonna run with Rage. I don't know. It might change up a little bit. I haven't tested it with Rage yet, so I don't necessarily know. But we'll be doing a version of this. So let's get some CTPs on this chick. Alrighty, here we go, guys. She's got a Rage now. She has got a Rage. Let's see how much, or if at all, speeds up her time for Mr. Null here. A little bit better there. We kind of got bamboozled, some bad procs, and we want her to put her best foot forward, right? We want to give Rage it's time to shine. Okay, not too sure. Where is our? That's not it. That's it. So we had 20 on that. That's the thing with Rage. You can hold the 4 for longer. You can ensure that you actually get that full proc, right? So like here, I can hold it without really worrying about what's going on. But here, like, you could go into the tier 3, but you kind of want to wait for the 4. You want to wait for those buffs. Where is it? It keeps on moving. That's not it. Do. There we go. There we go. There it is. Okay. So 345. It's honestly, I knew that was going to be the result, that it's not going to be all that much faster. Yeah, that could have been a little bit smoother. You could probably add about 5 seconds to that 350 on a better run. I think the proc runs were a bit smoother, right? Because the first one was at about 340. But I pretty much knew that was going to be the result. That's pretty much what's been happening. Like, if you remember my cable video, I was able to match the time. I think I might have been just a little bit faster with the proc. Like, a little bit faster with the proc. And this is the exact reason why I don't like using rages on my characters anymore, because a 200 proc offering nothing is almost just as good. I mean, what, 5 seconds? 5 seconds? Yeah, I have a little more flexibility with the rotation because it's a Rage, but it's also a CTP of Rage. And an obelisk is free. And what was that obelisk? I think it was immunity to snare and fire resist. Just a 200 proc, guys. Just 200 proc. This is actually offering the crit rate, although she gets the buff, though. She gets the buff. Okay, now I think energy is going to shine here. Energy is going to shine, and I'm going to compare against Scarlet Witch and Rogue. But here is the thing with those two characters. They are built like powerhouses. They're built like trucks. So where is, I think they're over here, Scarlet Witch. Okay, she has a full stack, fully awakened isolate set, and she has a brilliant. A very nicely rolled brilliant, as a matter of fact. And then Rogue also has a brilliant. Hers isn't rolled as good. She does have the max all attack, but she's got a 220 proc. So he's just a sneaky bandit coming at you here. So I know I showed you the uniform options in my last video, but in case you missed it, and this is a video all about Proxima, I'll at least show you the uniform options. We have Cosmic Ghost Rider, we have Odin, we have Mr. Magneto, House of X, we have Iron Man, the Endgame Iron Man, and then we have Valkyrie. Some good, some not so good, right? Iron Man's not really good, and I mean the rest are actually pretty good. I mean Magneto, he's just falling off, but that's the best uniform for him. But Iron Man one, yeah, all right, guys, Sneaky Bandit out. Enjoy your broadcast. Alrighty, here we go, ladies and gentlemen, running Miss Proxima Midnight now with a mighty energy with 5% beatdown. Honestly, though, I'm thinking that one with all attack would serve her a bit better, because you'll notice the time that both procs actually intersect, it's not long. It's not long. It's about 2 seconds. See that? About 2 seconds. Okay, we gotta run around this stupid thing. And we still almost hit it. Yeah, you kind of have to be a little more careful with the energy. I feel like the energy, it works a little bit better in the proc department. Like, it's easier to have the proc go off with. Dude. Okay, okay. Don't get trapped up. There you go. Very nice. I mean, there's a lot of damage there. Lots of damage on this energy. I mean, honestly, this is like, in my opinion, it's like very close to a regular energy. But about 4 minutes. It was like 3 minutes, 58 seconds. Which is a massive increase on both the regular proc and then even the rage, right? The rage was it 3:45? I'll have to go back and check, but I know it's at least like 15 seconds, right? Yeah, that's a pretty big increase, in my opinion. So she can definitely work with the proc, guys. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Now we're gonna run Miss Rogue. Miss Rogue, because Miss Rogue and Scarlet Witch, they clock in at about the same time on my account per their build. Scarlet Witch's build is a little bit better. It's definitely better. Her brilliance just rolled better, and she has the type, and she was using her own lead. But so I think it doesn't really matter which one I run. We're gonna get a good idea of where Proxima actually sits. We're getting clobbered with just stuff. Getting clobbered with stuff. Love getting clobbered with stuff. Please make it just clobber. Yeah, I'm so used to just, when I do these, not avoiding the Clintar cage. It would be nice to actually do that, but I don't know. Sometimes it could be inconsistent, and that would just add more RNG to the runs, and I just have to run it more times. But like I said, this is going to give us a good benchmark of where Proxima actually sits. If she can keep up with them, like if she's clocking in at the same time with a lesser build, because she has a mighty and Rogue has a brilliant. So right now she's about 5 seconds faster. Rogue is about 5 seconds faster, which would mean Scarlet Witch is about the same time faster. Now if I gave Proxima that brilliant energy I have in my inventory, she would be fast. She would be faster than them. I would bet money on it, just because of what that does. The increase that it gives the character is a lot. So if for Null, for World Boss Legend, I would put Proxima at the same pace as Scarlet Witch and Rogue, which is definitely saying something. So she is strong, guys. She is strong. So there you have it. You saw it, and you saw it here first. Proxima Midnight, smashing and thrashing in World Boss Legend. Yeah, she's a powerhouse. 2 thumbs up in my book, guys. I wouldn't sleep on her. At the very least, she has this uniform on her uniform effect, which is basically the same passive that Storm offers to elemental damage dealing characters, except it applies to villain allies, right? She gets 35% damage increase to super villains. Also, it applies to superheroes as well. But for PvE, you don't have a lot of situations like that. Jean Grey, Danger Room Extreme, that's basically it. Talking about PvP is another story. Alliance Conquest, Timeline, that sort of thing. And I really think, okay, so we have the Defenders, right? They shook things up in AC, and I think the Black Order is certainly going to do that too, especially because of Call and what he offers for the team. He offers guard break immunity for the whole team, among some other things as well. So we'll be getting into that. We'll be getting into it all. I would really like to see That would be nice to see the Black Order as a meta timeline team. That would be pretty cool. I would totally be digging that. I don't might consider building some for that way. But I think these characters, at least a couple of them, are going to be used for ABX, and they're going to need an ABX build if you wanna be competitive in ABX for certain. Proxima is at least going to be used for her support passive at the very least, and I think Corvus is going to make a splash for Speed Villain Day 100%. But she's keeping up. She's keeping up with Rogue and i.e. Scarlet Witch, because Rogue and Scarlet Witch, they're like neck and neck. So you compare one, you compare the other, and they have Brilliance on, and she has a Mighty. I would guarantee if I put this Brilliant on her right here, this Brilliant energy, that she would outpace them. I would say that. I'd bet it. That would be an interesting test. Maybe I'll actually do it. We'll see. But I got the rest coming up, guys, so you better stay tuned. You stay breezy, but most of all, friend, you stay safe out there now. Peace.